So, I'm here to talk about my VBAC story. Okay, let's start off from here. So, I had a VBAC. I had a natural child first, vaginally, and then my second child was a C-section because heart rate kept dropping. And my third child was a VBAC, which is vaginal birth after cesarean section. I think I said that right. A vaginal birth after C-section. And so what I did, I looked up videos, and there wasn't too many videos on YouTube of women talking about VBAC, but the ones I did see, they was very educational. And I heard negative stuff about VBACs, far as that if you get a VBAC, then you can have a chance of rupture. Which is the same as if you have a C-section and you want to have more kids in the future, you can have that same rupture from getting multiple C-sections. Now, I went and I called the hospital, which I'm located in Illinois, so I called Rush Copley, and I was just like asking them, for a reference line. So they gave me the reference. Well, they connected me to the reference. Well, the lady, she was like describing to me the different doctors, and I told her what type of insurance I had, which was the government assistance, Medicare, Medicaid. So it was multiple doctors that took it, and I got to one doctor. He was a nice guy, and I was going to see him because the first doctor I had was like, first C-section, always C-section. I'm like, you ain't my doctor. So anyway, I went to him, and I was going to my doctor's appointments regularly. And when the time had came, he was like, you won't have to talk about it right now. You early in your pregnancy, but when the time has came, when I was around 7 to 8 months, he's like, okay, now I got to tell you about C-section. They have you fill out all this paperwork because they basically don't want to get sued for if stuff happened. But humans are humans. Everybody can make mistakes. I put my trust in God's hands that my baby will be okay. So I never put my trust in humans anyway. So I signed the paperwork or whatever. He just told me what could happen and everything. And I'm like, okay, I still want a C-section. So now I'm about 8 months pregnant, and I go to the doctor, and the doctor was like, yeah, he was just feeling on my stomach. He's such a professional that he can feel on your stomach and let you know how big he think your baby is. Like he is like, your baby's about 9 pounds, and then he was like, basically, by the time it's time for my baby born, baby could be like 9+ pounds, and that I was not gonna have a natural birth, that I should make an appointment for a C-section. So obviously I went to go get a second opinion. The second doctor said the same thing, like, it's not really a good thing if it's not really a success rate if I have a baby that's over the pounds of my other babies I had. And my other baby was 7 pounds, so this baby was like 2 pounds over. So I went home, told my husband. Obviously I was upset because I really did not want to get cut again. People that had C-sections, you know what you go through. The line in your stomach, you feel it. I felt my cesarean section. I could feel it right up today where it itches, or it took a year to heal, and I could still feel it. And it's just like, and plus me personally, when I had my C-section, I almost died because they put you in a room where they check your heart rate or whatever like that. They said I kept going to sleep, and every time I went to sleep, my heart rate was dropping. So I felt personally that my body could not take another C-section. So I went home to my husband very upset, and I talked to my mother-in-law. That's like, what, let's just get the baby on out of there. If the doctor's saying let's go through the C-section, let's get a C-section. And so I prayed about it. God really knew that I did not want to have a C-section, so I prayed about it or whatever like that. But I listened to my husband and my mother-in-law, and I had said, okay, let's book the C-section. And God is so awesome that the doctor said, well, we can't book you a C-section because the hospital is full. The hospital is full for the women that are having C-sections, and we don't have any more room or whatever like that. So we're gonna have you go to your due date, and if you do not make it to your due date, if it passed your due date, then we're gonna cut you open the day that you're supposed to have deliver your baby. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I kind of went home happy. I'm like, yes, told my husband like the hospital is full or whatever like that, and they wanted me to go get blood work just in case I need a blood transfusion for a C-section. So I didn't go get the blood work because I ended up going in labor sometime the next week, and at the time I had 3 other kids. So I was just like, you know what? I don't want to get up and take the kids to school. And no, I didn't want to get up and take the kids to a babysitter because I knew I was in labor, but I just did not want to be walking and found a daycare and all that, and I be in the hospital. They send me back home. You know the whole process. If you're not dilated enough, they send you back home. So I went. I went through the night, walking back and forth, just humming to myself, telling myself this is nothing. Basically, self-meditating myself, and just I didn't know what it was at the time, but I was just telling myself this is nothing. This is just the beginning. You're gonna get through this or whatever. So I'm just humming like go lay in bed. My husband, he turned over like, you okay? I'm like, yeah. And then so I'd get up again, do the same thing over and over. So now it's time for the kids to go to school, and my husband had to run an errand or whatever. So I said, you know what, go ahead and take the kids to school. I'll be fine. And you take the kids to school, and then you come on to take care of your errand, and you come on back home or whatever, because I think today we're gonna go to the hospital. So he took the kids to school, and I guess he just wanted to make sure, so he came back and checked on me. And thank God he came back and checked on me, because by that time I was kneeling over on the floor, like still humming but real loudly, like he came and I'm like, yeah, about that errand, let's go to the hospital now. So I was like, you know what, I was like, it's just safe then sorry that I'll go to the hospital. I said, you go run your errand, I'll stay at the hospital, and if something happened, I'll call you. But we know the process, we're gonna be here for a long time, so go run your errand and come back. So now I walked through the wrong door. For one, I walked through the door, so I goes and I had to walk down the hallway. Police wanted to take me, like, no, this is nothing, I need to walk down. So basically I get upstairs in my room, and I hear these ladies screaming, next time I have a baby, because I do want to have future babies, I'm thinking about having babies at home, because the hospital can be a scary place if you're really trying to tell yourself like it's gonna be okay, you're gonna get through it, and then you hear somebody like, oh no, it's over, that can really take away whatever you're trying to do. So you know what, I'm just looking like, you know what, I'm just not gonna listen to this lady, this is nothing. So I go in my room, and I guess the staff was in there with her the majority of the time. So, they really had came in my room. They gave me my gown or whatever like that, and I went in the bathroom, put my gown on, and my contractions started coming back faster and faster. So I pushed the button like, you know what, somebody needs to come up in here. I'm in so much pain or whatever. So the nurse come up in there, and she was just like, she felt or whatever, when it's I felt whatever like that, and she's like, you're about 5. She's like, you are 5 centimeters, and you're doing so good. Like, I'm looking like, cause I want to know was I going home. She's like, no, you're not going home. And then so she came to the room about 10 minutes later, because she was relieving. She's about to go, so the other nurse was relieving her, so I get to see the other nurse. So they had to like go against each other, not go against each other, but tell each other to report. Well, she was 5 centimeters, so they checked me together, and they're like, oh no, she's around 7 centimeters now. So they're like, you need to call your husband, because you're going really fast. So I called my husband, like, oh, you need to get to the hospital right now. And he was trying to figure out, get the kids out of school. Some of my kids was going to one school, and the other kids were going to the other school. So he had went to go get the youngest kids and took them to my sister. And then so he had to get to the hospital. So he got to the hospital, whatever like that. It was going really quick. He was telling the doctor, do you think I got a chance to go drop my other daughter off at the babysitter or whatever? He's just like, yeah, I can't tell you that. It's up to your wife, it's up to her body, and she can have this baby within 10 minutes, or she can have this baby within hours. Up to her. So my husband didn't go anywhere. So I picked up the phone. In labor, about 7 to 8 centimeters, calling my friend like, oh, can you go get my baby from school? I'm about to have this baby. She's like, oh, no problem, or whatever. So it was just, it made it simple, cause I called the school. The school didn't want to give me my friend information, because Ashley is my daughter's friend, mother. We became friends over the years, and I love the girl to death now. But at the time, she was like, so I didn't have her number. I didn't have her number at the time. So I had to call the school. I'm like, you know what? I pick up her daughter all the time. I watch her daughter all the time. This time I need her to watch my daughter. I'm in freaking labor. Contact her, please. I'm calling the school trying to get to her. So the school got to her, and she called me at the hospital like, your daughter's gonna be fine. I'm like, oh, thank you. You know, I want to be focused on having my baby. I don't want to be focused on my baby. You got to school, you know. So anyway, now my husband was so hungry. He went downstairs to get something. They had to call him over the intercom, tell him like, hey, it's time. So they called him over the intercom, and he comes up, and my baby comes out 10 pounds. Like 10 pounds, 3 ounces. The only reason I'm forgetting because my mother-in-law, she told me my husband came out some pounds, and I began 8 pounds mixed up. But anyway, my baby came out like 10 pounds, 3 ounces. Big baby, big chunk of love. So, and I had her, I did get an epidural because I had told them no, I do not want an epidural, because I was like self-meditating myself, and it was working perfectly fine. If you keep telling yourself like, you know what, this is the beginning stage. If you can't take this now, you're not gonna be able to take that later. So I kept telling myself, this is nothing. It's just the beginning stage. It's just the beginning stage. And the whole time I'm at the end stage. So I'm like, I think I was like 6 or 7 centimeters when I got the epidural. Only so I got the epidural because they did say that if my VBAC did not, because you don't know if your VBAC gonna go perfect unless you're actually in labor and having your baby and something go wrong, you know, the baby heart rate start dropping, or the baby don't want to come out the birth, you know, area. And so it's just like anything can go wrong. So it was just telling me like, you know, if you 6 or 7 centimeters right now, if something was to go wrong, you know, you will be in full active labor with us trying to put a needle in your back, and that could be dangerous. You get paralyzed, you can get this, you can get that, and then they said, you know what, we wouldn't put a needle in you. She's like, it's too late that we wouldn't put a needle in your back, that we'll have to put you to sleep, and you will miss the birth for your child, either if it's a C-section or not. And I'm like, you know what, I don't want to miss the birth for my child. If I have to have a C-section or if I have natural birth, I'd rather have the epidural in the back that I can be woke and see my child. I want to see my child. I don't want to be asleep and not see my child and not go work. So I told her, yeah, give me the epidural, because that shit, excuse my language. That got to me like, no, I do not want to be asleep when my child is born. So my child came on out. I mean, I gave 2 pushes, and I guess after having 3 kids, I say, 2 pushes and my child was out. She came out healthy, no complications, and everything went very smoothly. And I encourage people to get a VBAC because it's better, it's natural. Your body is supposed to have babies and all this other stuff around you. I don't want a C-section. Who wants C-section? And then that is operation. You get operated on when you get cut open. And seriously, I encourage you to have a VBAC. I had a natural VBAC. I was in the hospital more than 5 or 6 hours before I had my baby. And I made this video super late because she's a year old now. She's 1 year old. But I had to tell people, you know, because I looked it up. I looked up information about it. And it could be scary away because they have to tell you complications on anything. You can take a bottle of pills. You take Tylenol. If you look up the complications of Tylenol, there's lots of them. You can go through this. You can go through that. You know, the doctor's trying to help themselves, whatever like that. But, you know, for 1, put God first. 2, look up the information. 3, encourage yourself. Tell yourself, you know, I really want this to go successful. You want a natural birth. So I did have a natural birth, and it was an incredible moment. My husband got to record it, hold my leg up, record it at the same time. I got to hold my baby when she came out. You know, she was all slammy. Yeah. But she was chunky, full of love. And if you have any questions, I mean, you can ask them. I'll be more than welcome to answer them to the best of my ability. But you should really consider a VBAC, because either way, it's like, if it don't go successful, you have a C-section. Oh, they tell you that you can, that whole thing that you could possibly not have another baby because they have to something if you get the bleeding or something like that. They did say that, and that did get to me a lot, you know, thinking about it, like, man, I don't want to go through a VBAC and possibly it don't go good. I'll possibly not have another kid. But the percentage of that, I think, is less than 1%. Seriously, less than 1%. If you is that 1%, I mean, I don't really know, but I can't compare myself to that 1%. I'm like above that. I felt it in my heart. But anyway, consider VBAC. Learn it, educate yourself, try it out. But this video is going into 15 minutes, and I don't want people to be fast forwarding on my face. So I'm out of here. Peace. Oh yeah, let me show you my poke. Poke. Come here. Ugh. This is my successful VBAC baby. Say hey, poop. Well, say look up the information for yourself and check it out, because I was a successful VBAC baby. All right. Okay. Get down. All right. Check out the video. Peace.